at the Metropolitano. Diego Simeone and company getting the job done as they win 1-0 over Athletic Club. Athletic Club's first defeat in league play since way back on October 6th. What does it mean for the top of the table? Well, there it is. We got a new leader in Spain. Atletico Madrid are 2 points clear of Barcelona, who, yes, have a game in hand. They will be playing tomorrow at home against Real Sociedad. And there you see Real Madrid right now, third in the three-horse race. All right, Luis Garcia, I know you were sweating it there at the end. Athletic Club was knocking on the door, but Atletico, you got to give them credit. They got the win when Real Madrid couldn't.
Yeah, very solid performance by Atletico de Madrid. It wasn't an easy game. We've been talking and analyzing the game in the pre-show, and we said that this Athletic Club arrives in a very, very good moment. You could see the intensity, you could see the fight that they bring, the quality in transition, even though you were saying that the slow development, and it's not true. I think they didn't read that well that play. But they brought the best in the last few minutes. But Atletico de Madrid just brought that maturity that this team is got. And of course, that rotation that continue working as perfect that they've been in the last month or 2 months that we've seen this Atletico Madrid improvement. Gallagher comes in and brings you that ability, that strength, that box to box. Valverde bring you, Valverde, Llorente bring you that last pass, playing not in the wide area but also into the middle, so he can place in so many different places. And Julian Alvarez is doing what he does the best, is capitalizing their chances. Just the first touch on the ball, and he scored and give the 3 points to this Atletico Madrid. And that's Atletico Madrid. That depth on the squad that they have is just magnificent. Every single player who bring on the team, it does or doesn't drop a little bit the talent and the quality of the team. And that's the big difference. The players who replace in the Athletic Club, they didn't bring much of it, not quality in the last third, and in the boxes is where all the games are decided. Today, it was one small mistake for Athletic Club who gave us the 3 points. To Atletico Madrid, that again, they look strong and they look ready to get a trophy this season.
How would you compare, Ali, the personality between what we saw from Real Madrid and what we saw from Atleti in this way?
There is no comparison. There isn't. And it's not just the players, it's the managers, the fans. The meaning of what this result that would seem to be, well, it's just 3 points. No, it isn't just 3 points. And that's, I think, where Real Madrid kind of comes up short, in that they treat these games as an afterthought because they're thinking about Atletico Madrid in Champions League. Whereas Atletico Madrid and even Athletic Club Bilbao, and they're leaving everything on the field in this match. This is the most important game. Now, look, it may sound like hyperbole, but that's the way they play. When you see Robin Lenormand going on for a challenge or Jose Maria Jimenez, do you see any doubt and question as to who's going to win that ball? No. They're coming to clean you out, the ball, and everybody else who's around. That's the intensity with which Atletico Madrid play that is going to win them more games than not, and is going to keep them in this title race. Beyond that, the depth that we're talking about that perhaps Real Madrid doesn't have, Atletico Madrid does have it. And it's a depth that makes a difference coming off the bench. Last week, it was Sorloth coming off the bench and making a difference in the Copa del Rey matchup against Barcelona. We get to the weekend and Sorloth starting, and here comes Julian Alvarez, and he's making a difference off the bench. And it's not just Julian Alvarez, it's Marco Llorente. And when it's not Marco Llorente, it's Nahuel Molina. And when it's not Nahuel Molina, it's Ángel Correa. And when it's not Ángel Correa, here comes Samuel Lino. This rotation that Diego Simeone has been able to handle and manage properly makes a difference for this team. And why is that significant? Because you just mentioned there's a bunch of games coming. All of them are important, and these players have to have an impact. Coming off the bench, starting at the game, they have to have an impact and a positive impact. And all of these players from Atletico Madrid right now feel important because they step on the field knowing that the manager believes, I can do a job. That, I think, makes a difference when you consider the important games coming up.
To your point about what it meant, we saw it in the reaction from Simeone at the final whistle. We heard it, we felt it from the fans in the Metropolitano, what it means to be this late in the season in first place. Luis, from an Atleti perspective, just how big is it that right now, and I know that could change in 24 hours depending on what Barcelona does, but we know Barcelona's incredibly inconsistent. How important is it right now for Atleti to be in first place? What does it mean to the fans, to the club, and to the players?
It's massive. It's massive because you keep that momentum. And you say that, yeah, we'll have to wait on tomorrow. Yeah, but that will be tomorrow. And you put the pressure on Barcelona. Then now they need to win. And that put a lot of pressure on the players because during the game, you're going to have ups and downs. But there's going to be a moment that you are in a rush. You are urgent to score a goal because you need to win. Because if not, you're gonna get back on the top of the table. And to the point that I was mentioned about what it means for the players, for the manager and the supporters, there is a moment in the goal that Julian Alvarez scored that is Rodrigo de Paul that today was superb on the field. He won every single thing that happened on the game. There is a moment where he received the ball, gave the pass, and then Llorente is the one who put the ball to Julian Alvarez. While they are celebrating, Rodrigo de Paul is talking to Simeone, and Simeone is saying, do you change it? Do you change? Because I think that he was feeling something, and no one thought about, if I'm thinking about the Champions League game that I got in midweek to be involved, to be important in that game, I'm thinking, okay, we just score a goal, I play a fantastic game, I'm replaced, and I'm going to rest. We didn't see the Paul just asking for the replacement. No, he stayed until the last moment, until the last minute, until the last run. And we saw him just running all around. That's what it means for the players. That's what it means to be committed. Today is the most important game. Midweek, that's for the midweek game, and we'll see who plays, if I'm involved, if I'm not involved. And if I'm needed, I will do my best. That's the commitment that Simeone has brought to this team. And that's why every single player who brings on the on the pitch give 120%, and that's very difficult to build.
I feel like, Ale, when we talk about the title race, it comes down to consistency. And maybe Barcelona and Real Madrid have hit higher heights, but Atleti to me seems so much more consistent. Am I crazy to say that that's a huge edge in the title race?
Well, actually, let's just be practical about this. Atletico Madrid has already played twice against Real Madrid. 2 draws, so nobody holds a head-to-head advantage. They've already played once against Barcelona and won that game away from home. The next time they play Barcelona is at home. So let's just assume that Atletico Madrid, for the sake of argument, they're able to beat Barcelona. In fact, they don't even have to beat.
Tie would do them.
They could tie, and they still hold a head-to-head against Barcelona. And now, all you have to concern yourself with is beating everybody else outside of Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Games that all be favorites in, right?
Whereas Barcelona and Real Madrid play against each other. So if you're trying to make a case for Atletico Madrid, they're holding more cards than people realize. Everybody's focusing on Real Madrid and Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid are over here like, we'll get 3 points here, we'll get 3 points over there, we'll get 3 points over here, and here we are. Watch us. Watch us. Because Barcelona is coming to us, and if we beat Barcelona, we put ourselves in a situation in which we really hold most of the cards.
I feel like it's hard not to give Atleti the edge in the title race based on what we just talked about. If you go off form, and certainly just the 90 minutes that we saw today, and we think about the Champions League, Luis, it's hard not to see Atleti as maybe the favorite in the Champions League, even though the odds makers will have it differently. How do you sense the two teams are arriving ahead of Tuesday's first leg?
No, I think that it's very difficult to call a favorite. We always give the favoritism to Real Madrid because of the experience, because of the background, that mentality that they bring into the table when it's Champions League. You see that it's a different animal, it's a different team, or they look a different team, always with the chances of winning every single game. And Atletico de Madrid, because of the past, because what happened in the Champions League finals that they play, or because the last few years where they couldn't get closer to a final, we're going to give always the favoritism to Real Madrid. But in the moment that they are, with the momentum that Atletico de Madrid is having, I don't think that we can give much more than 51% maybe to Real Madrid and 49% for Atletico Madrid, because definitely the moment that they are at right now is very good. I don't see them just going down for a bit. And of course, Real Madrid needs to change that situation that we saw today. So difficult to call it. But again, I think that always in the Champions League, Real Madrid is going to be favorite.
It's hard to argue with what Luis says right there. It is the Champions League. It is Real Madrid's competition. But you know what I'm getting at, right?
Well, I think regardless of the percentage, and we can get to numbers if you so desire, but regardless of the percentage, Real Madrid, what we know for certain, has to be significantly better than what they were today. And when I say significantly better, I mean they have to be a completely different team than what they were today. if that different team shows up and that different face shows up, this is a different conversation. But we don't know for certain if that's going to be the case. We assume, because history tells us that that's going to be the case. We're assuming that come midweek, they're going to be ready to play and they're going to show a different face than what we saw today. Right now, they don't have a choice. They have to have a much different performance than what they did today.
Real Madrid and Atletico facing off in the Champions League on Tuesday, but they got a title race to worry about as well. And on Sunday, they'll be watching Barcelona, who are home against Real Sociedad, with a chance to go top of the league. One of 4 games we'll have available for you right here on ESPN Plus before the match day ends on Monday with Villarreal against Espanyol.